I was in the team of election observers maybe about a decade ago now. That was the first election in which all of the political parties, left and right, participated in El Salvador, and there were still a lot of fighting going on between different groups and the like, and there were situations where there were some telephone poles being blown up by folks to.
Sounds like fun.
There was a lot of military around. As a matter of fact, almost every street corner in San Salvador had military outpost, sandbags and that kind of stuff. And there were certainly situations in the election itself where paid bullies for one side or the other were trying to intimidate people, and those of us who were election observers, sometimes got a little bit more involved than just observing.
Well, it sounds very interesting indeed. You had mentioned that you've also done some work with the UN on the reinvention of government.
Yeah, one of the major initiatives of the Department of Economic and Social Affairs at the UN has been a series of conferences. The very first one was here in the United States on, quote, reinventing government. And that's a term that has become kind of a cliche, but it basically means trying to improve the management and efficiency of government. And last year, the King of Morocco hosted the fourth such conference in Marrakesh, and this year the fifth one will be hosted by Vicente Fox, the President of Mexico, in Mexico City. And I've been privileged to ask to speak at those conferences.
Wow! Can you invite your friends and family?
Well, as a matter of fact, my wife went with me to Marrakesh and may go to Mexico City with me.
Sounds like a great opportunity. Now, I understand you've got some new projects coming up.
Well, a couple of things connected with the UN initiative on strengthening governmental leadership will be involved in three different seminars working with cabinet minister level people, one in Rwanda, one in the Czech Republic, and one in Ukraine. These will all occur early next year. Actually, the one in the Czech Republic will occur in December of this year, and the other two will occur early next year.
And will you be traveling to these countries, or is this?
Sure. Yeah.
So you do the hands-on research. You got to meet and talk with all the people, and.
Oh, very much. I mean, that's the fun part of it, actually. the work is back here, conceptualizing and organizing, but going there and being a part of it is the really fun part. And then...
don't you have a project in Beijing that you're working on as well?
Yeah, this is something in my role as president of the International Association of Schools of Public Administration, which is located in Brussels. We are going to, jointly with the Chinese National School of Administration, which is a very, very elite school to train upper-level government officials in China, organize a seminar on crisis management, which comes obviously out of their recent experience with SARS and the crisis implications of
which
that.
Is also managed by the World Health Organization, which is an entity of the United Nations.
Exactly.
So one quick question for you. In your work in all these different countries, has their opinion of the United States changed in the last 10 months or so? If so, can you tell me?
That's a really depressing topic to get to, because yes, I mean, in the past, the impression of Americans as individuals, I don't think has changed. I mean, I find myself greeted in a very friendly way by people all over, but there is a very, very negative attitude toward our government at this point. I mean, there's a real feeling that the United States everybody acknowledges we are the most powerful, most important country in the world, but there's also a feeling today that we have just become so arrogant in terms of this.
So if you had an opportunity to address what some people would consider the diplomatic demise that the U.S. has caused, what would your message be?
Well, that we need to start paying more attention to our friends and our neighbors, and that we need to be more responsive. We need to recognize that the world is a place that is highly integrated.
Great, thank you very much. Stay tuned for closing comments on Miami's Global Connection.
No, I understand we're late, but things have been a little hard, and we're really trying. Well, my husband has a second job. Well, no, I know that, but we're trying really hard, and it's just that, yes, I know. Well,
hey, I want to see
yes.
go now.
Hi, welcome back. We're with Dr. Rosenbaum. And Dr. Rosenbaum, tell us a little bit more about your, we were talking about your opinion on if you had the opportunity to address what some people would consider diplomatic demise occurring in the United States, what would your message be?
Well, that there's still a tremendous amount of, it's interesting, both admiration and a certain degree of envy about the United States throughout the world. I mean, people admire the country, they admire the American people, they admire our openness, but their concern is that we don't share that same respect and that same interest in them and what they are concerned about. And so what we really need to do is convey to them that we are as interested in them as they are in us.
You know, it's a very interesting topic that we should all think more about. In fact, for those of you in the audience that would like more information on how you can become involved with the United Nations Association or any other organization that promotes international activity, you can contact the local Greater Miami chapter at the United Nations Association on Brickell Avenue, or you can go to the unausa.org website. And for those of you who have questions or comments or ideas for our show, please contact us at mgc@americasbusinesslink.com. We'd like to thank Dr. Allan Rosenbaum for your time, comments, and very interesting insights to the work that you've been doing with the United Nations.
Thank you, Whitney. It's been a pleasure to be here.
And thank you for joining us with Miami's Global Connection. I'm Whitney Belker.